So I wanted to hop on this morning because I was really kind of hit emotionally with something that happened, and I feel like it's a series of things that's brought me to remind us all the importance of finding our authentic voices. Um, it started, well, I don't know where it started. I mean, there's a lot of stuff happening in the United States right now that's very emotional, let's put it that way. And so it's like kind of cracking our hearts open in different ways. One is the impeachment trial of Donald Trump and hearing the the difference in the way people are delivering their information and arguments, and this toxic patriarchy that's really evident with gaslighting and lying. I mean, one thing that was said yesterday was that dishonesty, you can be a dishonest president and not be impeached. And this whole thing about what we accept in our world, or where how we've been living, I mean, that was just one little piece that stuck with me. And and then Kobe Bryant, a basketball player who died this weekend in a helicopter accident, along with his 13-year-old daughter. I think it was two other girls on a basketball team that he was going to coach, and an assistant coach, and two parents, and a helicopter pilot. And it just has brought up the complexity of humans, that he was a complex human being who was accused of sexual assault uh, years ago, probably when he was in his early 20s, and he was the father of four daughters, and he and his wife were going to get a divorce in 2011, and then reignited their relationship, had two more babies. He'd retired from his basketball career, and he was wanting to be a better human being, at least from the actions he was showing on the outside. So it's complex, but it's, I don't know. I think it strikes us all in different ways when someone famous is uh, dies in a um, catastrophic way, in a sudden way, and it opens our hearts. And I feel like one of the things that is happening on the planet is that our hearts are opening more and more, and the importance of women finding our authentic voices and not trying to deliver our information in a way that is uh, like the standard marketable way. And this is what I wanted to share about something that just really hit me. And uh, and again, it's not catastrophic, but it was the words that were used just kind of woke me up even more to how important it is for women to find that soft voice, that persistent voice, that voice that isn't afraid to stand on a mountaintop and shout a message, and knows when it's time to do that versus when it's time to be gentler with our message, and persistent and consistent with a new voice that is rising on the planet. Okay, so here I'm just going to share a little marketing thing that happened. There's a man named Michael Port who wrote a book called Book Yourself Solid. And I think it came out around 2010. And I followed him and listened to things he was doing. You know, he's been very successful with public speaking and teaching people about public speaking, and helping with marketing. And I would listen to his free teleclasses and glean some information here and there. So the other day, I got an email from someone else who was saying book yourself solid, and I was thinking that was Michael Port, but I read through and it all seemed good, and I thought, oh, I'm going to sign up for that free teleclass and just see, kind of remember things that I know, see if there was anything new in trends. And I was all signed up, ready to go. And it was supposed to happen sometime this week. Well, yesterday I got an email from Michael Port. And I had also researched to go, wasn't it Michael Port that wrote the book? Who is this guy? But again, it felt like, okay, there's something aligned here. So I get this email from Michael Port, and it starts off with warning in reference to Matthew Kimberly, who was the guy so I see the word warning, and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's something wrong that this guy has done, right? Warning. It sends off the word warning to me means danger, right? So then I keep reading because I'm like, what happened? And he starts off saying, you may have received an email last week from somebody called Matthew Kimberly. He used to work together. I'm picking out words and phrases. I'm not going to read you the whole letter, but it's like, we used to work together here at Book Yourself Solid. I was like, okay, then it is the same thing. And he's saying he pretty much ran the operations, He was a solid choice of partner, no pun intended. And then he said, and then Matthew and I parted ways professionally, but remained friends. And he kind of talked about what he did. And then he said, so what Matthew did next shocked me. Okay, once again, warning, shocked me, right? It's like this feeling in my body of danger. And I brought up the Trump stuff and the Kobe Bryant because I wanted you to see that what's happening right now is there's a lot coming at us energetically, and our body systems are opening at the same time. So it's like we're opening our hearts. So then we feel these things more. We're using things, and I think probably it got even stirred up more because I was reviewing Sabina's ebook for her sacred geometry. So it's like I'm opening to this. I'm working with the energy tools. My energy field is all open. So it's like warning, shocked me. So I'm thinking this is like a guy there's some fraud involved is what I'm thinking. So what Matthew did next shocked me. And he said, Matthew made it clear he wanted firmly back in the Book Yourself Solid camp. He wanted to step in and take charge of it. And he said, and then he goes, since it was Matthew, of course I said yes. I was like, okay, where's the thing where there's fraud or something? And then he's saying, Matthew's been instrumental to my business development. It should come with a warning. This will be like a rocket fuel for your business. If you haven't registered for it, you should do it now. Well, once I got to the end of that, and I was like, he's actually in support of this guy. Why did he use the words warning, shock? It was like, was it some kind of a hook? No. For me, what I actually did was I deleted them all. I unsubscribed because I was like, no longer am I going to sign up for things based on fear and scarcity and warning and shock. There's no amount of money you could pay me to want to enter into a field of energy like that any longer. That is what we're saying no to. And as I got clearer on that piece last night, and then had a dream last night that it was like in the dream, there was something where I was being separated from people. And it was like, yeah, that's an old system. I don't want to be part of that system. I want to make the new system. I then started to hear a song this morning sung by Cindy Lou Who in The Grinch Who Stole Christmas. And if you haven't seen that film, the thing that I want to just send to you this morning through transmission is that the Grinch had stolen all the Christmas presents and wanted to ruin Christmas, and was using his power in this way. And Cindy Lou Who got in touch with really what the heart message was. And it was her little voice rising. It was her willingness to say no to the hurt, to the anger. It was her authentic voice then inviting the Grinch and wanting to give him an award to bring him in, not to get the presents back, but to actually create a new world, a new perspective, a new way of seeing the world. I wanted to share this with you this morning because I want you to understand the importance of the work that you're doing. It's not just the completing a workshop or a book. It is the finding your authentic voice that is sometimes soft, that is sometimes loud, but most important, it is connected with your heart and shifting the consciousness on the planet. And you may be someone who gets a 6-figure income from doing that. And it may be that you touch someone in a way that changes their life and that becomes a ripple effect into the world. So say no to the warning, to the shock, to the fear-based marketing or patriarchy, toxic patriarchy, as you're getting in touch with that authentic voice. So obviously you can see it's really touched me deeply. I was going to come on and talk about podcasting today. I may do that later today because I had a few things I wanted to share with you. But more important, I wanted to share that experience of receiving that email yesterday and saying no to it. Saying no, get out of my inbox, deleting everything, unsubscribing. The information will come in a different way. And in a way that I want to put things out into the world. So, much love.